the sun is high, we're feeling good. In Miami where the spirit's understood. With Bobby Finstock leading the crew, we're gonna show you what these Dolphins do. Fans up high, the crowd's roaring loud. In the city with the blue and aqua proud. Finstock's here with the play-by-play. We're getting ready, it's game day. Are you ready for some football? Miami Dolphins standing tall. Are you ready for some football? Showtime at the Hard Rock, y'all. From the tailgate to the field of green, with the best fans you ever seen. Bobby's got the scoop, hot off the press. In Miami, we roar to impress. Play up stats and pregame chat.
Good evening, Dolphins fans. Welcome to the Dolphins pregame show. I'm your host, Finn Stanza. With me this evening is my buddy, Real Talk Rant, Steve Malloy. How are you, Steve?
Doing great, Evan. I'm just ready for some football.
Yeah, breaking news. We have the inactives, but I just want to take a moment for everybody because I know people right away are going to wonder, well, with all the intro stuff, Bobby usually is here with us in the show. Excuse me for my daughter who's just running around back there.
I thought
But
that was a ghost.
Yeah, it was a ghost. But I want to just let everybody know the reason why Bobby's not here, and you probably haven't seen him this weekend on Finn's Talk today, and why you're probably not going to see him during the course of the week is, unfortunately, a member of our FTSN family, Bobby's stepdad, Ralphie Boy, who you've seen in the comments for many, many years, suddenly passed away over the weekend. So our hearts go out to Bobby, his siblings, his mom, and his entire family, his kids, and all the grandkids in the family. We wish them all but nothing but the best. And we're dedicating this show and the pre- and post-game show and a Dolphins win to Ralphie Boy. Prayers for you, Ralphie, Bobby, and their entire family.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, guys, so just take a moment just to, if you can, just drop a message to Bobby. Anything you say in the comments, I'm sure he'll be reading and he'll really appreciate it. So just take a moment because Ralphie was really part of our family. Bobby posted something on the weekend, and he said about having these bear hugs. I got the chance to meet Ralph last year, and I got one of those bear hugs. He was a sweetheart. So guys, breaking news before we talk about what's going to happen tonight during the Dolphins-Titans game is the inactives have been announced, Steve. So we have some positive news coming out of it. So David Long is not playing, we saw during the weekend that he was doubtful. So Duke Riley and Jordan Brooks and that group and Anthony Walker are going to have to step up. Skylar Thompson, emergency third QB, which we were not surprised by. Kendall Fuller. So that means they're either going to elevate. I think they elevated both Needham and Bonner because Fuller is not playing.
I thought
Storm Duck's there. So maybe they didn't
Yeah.
elevate either one yet. They haven't announced because Fuller's not playing. So probably Duck and Saron Neal will be there. Raheem Mostert isn't playing. So you're going to see a lot more, once again, more of just Devon Achane and Jalen Wright and Jeff Wilson. Mo Kamara is not playing, which is expected, and no Teron Armstead. So the big news coming off is that Malik Washington, we actually have a third wide receiver tonight. It's
he's playing
this season. Malik Washington is off the inactive. So with that list, is that a nice way to start the show that we see Malik Washington more than likely playing this today? What do you think, Steve?
Yeah, I think they have a few packages for him. I think we'll see him in there. Absolutely.
Yeah. We've been asking for a third wide receiver 3 all season. So, and honestly, during the preseason, I know he was the most targeted. Yes, it was the preseason, but he did get a lot of targets during the course of the preseason. So it'll be nice to see him start off. Raheem Mostert concerns me a little bit because of the fact that he's really our zone runner, and the fact that we haven't seen him. I think that's why running outside the numbers has been something that's not been that great. But anyways, let's see what happens because we've been running inside the numbers and it's working, but they seem to get away from it. So.
Right.
So how are you feeling right now, an hour out from the game, before we talk about the specifics of the game, the players we want to see? What are your feelings? I know you had a show yesterday, which I listened to with Ace per head and Curtis, but what do you tell everybody who didn't have a chance to see your show? What are your feelings heading into tonight's game?
Well, I'm excited. I'm kind of mixed emotions, but I'm excited for one thing. I'm excited to see Huntley, to be honest with you, our mobile quarterback. And that's something we haven't seen in a long time, is a mobile quarterback that can go outside the pocket, that is a threat to run. And he's got a decent arm. So that's what I'm excited to see. And I think I hope that we see Jalen Wright play a little more, as you said, Evan, inside the numbers, running inside the numbers, inside there, and I hope that we do see him. Achan, I hope that he's utilized in the right way. I mean, we can't be handing off the ball 10 times, 15, 20 times to Achan. I hope there's a sharing of the running back duties between him and Jalen Wright. But I just have mixed emotions. But I am excited to see Tyler. You get them mixed up.
Yeah,
Tyler.
between Skylar and Tyler, we're all confused. That's why I just say Snoop. Snoop time. That's how I'm doing it. That's how I'm not messing up.
There we go. Yeah, Snoop. So I'm excited to see him, what he brings to the table. He adds another dynamic to this offense, and that's something else that the defenses are going to have to adjust for. And maybe that helps in getting Tyreek and Waller more involved in the passing game. We'll see.
Yeah. Absolutely. So for me, the other big news is that Jeffrey Simmons is inactive tonight. So their best defender, even though they have Howard Landry and all that, is out also. So once again, the Miami Dolphins offense, there's a key member of the defense, whether against Seattle, whether against Buffalo, that is not in the lineup. You need to take advantage of it. And that's what the most important thing is. So let's just talk briefly about the fact that yesterday, anything that the Dolphins wanted to happen yesterday happened this last couple of days. New England lost, Buffalo lost, and the Jets lost. And as I'm wearing this T-shirt from Caneswear, don't forget to check out Caneswear on University Drive or Caneswear.com in Davie, Florida. I got this T-shirt there. I don't often hate, but when I do, I hate the Jets, the Patriots, and the Bills. Okay, that's what this T-shirt says. I'm not kidding. Awesome T-shirts there. But honestly, nothing could have given me more joy. I know I love to watch the Dolphins win, but I'm telling you, watching Aaron Rodgers lose with the towel over his head, such joy. Watching the Patriots, that's expected. But also to watch the Bills last night, this is why I wanted Derrick Henry. Holy camole. That first run, holy camole. But at the same time, you see Buffalo, that's the first time they lost by more than 6 points in a loss in 40 some odd actual games. The last 40 some odd losses, they haven't lost by more than 6 points. They got trashed last night. They got exposed. And people now can learn the same way that people learned about the Dolphins offense and how they need to adjust. They need to learn how to handle Josh Allen in that offense. They were exposed last night, so find a way to beat them.
They actually got bullied.
Yeah, bullied. And you see how he got outside the pocket and he threw the ball? Like, it's just – and that's what I want people to realize. The parity in the NFL is crazy. You look at the Cleveland Browns, coach of the year last year in Stefanski. They have to put in Jameis Winston. Look at Deshaun Watson. How on fourth down are you getting sacked without releasing the ball? That's our concern with Skylar Thompson. They don't get rid of the ball. Like, for us as a team, there's so much parity here. Look at there's so much ability in this league. To lose tonight against a team that you have revenge against, the team that you have motivation against, to show the world. You're also doing it on prime time, because right now, the one thing that the Miami Dolphins have is they have an amazing supportive fan base. But the fan base is, no matter who we are, and you go watch them, even the most positive fans that are there, and you know who they are on the other networks, are starting to turn on McDaniel. Whether it's Big O, Dudley, Reason, Dolphins Talk, all of us. Omar, Pooper, everyone is starting to rip on him. Every big newscaster, no matter how kind of a genius people think he is, the offense is the worst in the NFL this season in terms of points per game. And you have Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. So this is an opportunity to, I think it's the most important, it is by far the most important game that they're going to play all season. Do you agree with that? Like, this can turn the tide. You're either 2-2 heading into New England and being able to go to 500 before the bye and be able to rest everybody, and then potentially get Chubb and OBJ and that group and Raheem Mostert back, and then Tua the week after, or you're going 1-3, and now you're at the bottom of the heap. What do you think, Steve?
Yeah, I agree with you on that point. You know, and I know a lot of folks were down and out, you know, this past week on us being 1-2, and it's the way we looked. You know, the way we looked. You know, we looked pitiful. The offense was dismal. You know, so I understand that, but I still wasn't panicked. You know, I'm still not panicked. Now this, as you said, Evan, this game is going to be the turnaround for Miami. It's either going to make them or break them, and it's going to be very telling because it's either going to show that Mike McDaniel is a head coach, right, or he's incompetent. This game is gonna we're going to see if he can make adjustments and if he can play up to what Scott, I want to say Skylar, what Tyler Huntley can do. They need to play to his strengths today. And that means mobile. That means rolling him out, RPO, getting him to run, even some play designs. Use his strengths. Use his strengths. Those are his strengths and his skill set. And if he can do that, I think we have a great chance of beating this team. Like you said, Simmons is out. The defensive backfield is not that great as well. So if we lose today, we're losing to a bad team. That makes us really bad.
Yeah. Because what I want people to realize, and I've been saying this for a couple of weeks before I get to McDaniel, is the fact that before Tua got injured, you were ripping him. They were good anyways. So if you think that Tua's coming to save you, he isn't, because as long as the offense continues to run in an anemic way, in a non-adjustable way, you're going to struggle. So I was watching NFL Live briefly before, and Dan Orlovsky had asked Snoop, have you changed anything? Now I'm hoping he's doing smoke and mirrors. He says, well, not much has changed. We're trying to and I go to myself, you better be changing something, because if you continue to play this way, then you're not utilizing the strengths of your quarterback. Like Aaron Rodgers was asked in a press conference, are you going to change? Gasol said, maybe we'll look at his cadence changing. I go, well, if I were them, I wouldn't, because even I would want him to change it. But if I'm the Jets, why would you want Aaron Rodgers to take away his biggest strength? The biggest strength of Tyler Huntley is being able to scramble. He has a good arm, so go deep. He has a very good arm, and let him make plays outside the pocket. You don't have to have him make quick throws in a moment, because he's not a typical first read quarterback. So if you're trying to make quarterbacks into Tua, you're not going to find that quarterback, because that quarterback is not a small, accurate quarterback. Most quarterbacks are not as accurate as Tua, but they're more athletic. Use somebody at athleticism to their strength. Don't use it don't try to fit a square peg into a round hole, as I like to say.
Right.
So speaking of Mike McDaniel, so for me, I'm about to tell you something. Tell me if you agree. I want to see Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and Devon Achane with at least 40 combined touches today. I don't care how. I don't care when. Screen, jet sweeps, running. I don't care. But I don't want to hear the fact that Tyreek Hill only had 4 or 5 targets. That Jalen Waddle, I need to see double digits from them today. I don't want to see this nonsense of them hardly touching the football. Your two best offensive weapons aren't being utilized, because if you continue to just give it to Achane, they're gonna accept that all game. Because if you saw even last week against Seattle, we're not going to go deep because of 2 deep safeties. Do you know how DK Metcalf caught that touchdown? On 2 deep safeties. They just ran the wrong route. Tyreek Hill I think is more talented than DK Metcalf. Do something with it. So what do you want to see from the offense in terms of players? Who do you want to see step out and be the main targets for Snoop tonight?
Well, look, I want to look. We definitely need to get Waddle and Tyreek more involved. I went back and I looked, and I know there were some folks that were saying, "Oh, look, they're out of the game. They're not even in the game." Well, to be quite frank, they're playing the same amount that they played the last 3 years, about 72% of the time. The thing is McDaniel isn't targeting him, are not targeting them as much when they are in. But there's a reason Okay. There's a reason for that. When you have 7 men on the offensive line mitigating this offensive line by blocking, and you got 7 men on the offensive line, and you only have three receivers are going out for a pass, you got 2 that are going to be doubled. Well, who are that going to be doubled? Waddle and Tyreek. And that's the reason why they're not getting open. And when you've got seven people in the backfield, whether linebackers, defensive backs, in coverage, covering 3 or 4 receivers. See, that's what they're doing, and that's why they're not being able to get them the ball. But they need to try to get them the ball some way or fashion. And I think the way that they're going to do it, Evan, is they're going to have to roll Huntley out of the pocket, get him to create off script, and throw downfield to Tyreek or Waddle if they're open. They're gonna. I'm sure if they haven't been working on this during practice, then this whole coaching organization that Miami has are incompoops. They've got to be working. They've got to be working with these guys and saying, "Look, Tyreek, we're going to be rolling Huntley out. You're going to have to find an open area to get open, and he'll get you the ball because he does have an arm to get them the ball. We've seen it, right, on film. So he can do that. But the only way, we got to keep it simple too. Got to keep it simple, man. Don't make it complex. Just freaking run the ball. Well, I'll get to the keys of the game, but basically just run the ball. Defense has to step up, and they have been playing okay. They're going to have to create some turnovers. And for goodness sakes, we can't afford 11 and 12 penalties.
Oh, for God's sake. That's on the coaching staff, though. That's not just on. Because the problem is that there's so much motion. And because it's not Tua controlling the cadence and all that, and because there's so much motion, they're nervous and they don't know what to do with themselves. So they jump. They jump. And it's something that just is not working. So stop with the motions. The motions are creating more confusion, delaying the play clock, and then they're rushing, and that's what causes problems for me. Do you have a concern about the laissez-faire attitude of the star players? Are you bothered by it? Because I thought having Anthony Weaver, I thought about the defense, but if you look now, I'll do a side note. You know what gives me a lot of joy? Do you happen to see who has the 29th worst rush defense, the 30th worst pass defense? Do you know which team I'm talking about in the NFL? It's not the Dolphins. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Which team has one of the worst defenses in the NFL right now?
It's the Titans.
No.
Who?
The Philadelphia Eagles. Do you happen to know who the Philadelphia Eagles
got you. Yeah. You're right. You're right. I didn't even think.
Okay.
Yeah. It's Fangio. It's Fangio.
So I thought
absolutely.
Weaver being on the sideline. Be mad at your players. The fact that's my issue with McDaniel is the fact that you have Tyreek Hill and you have Jalen Waddle sitting on the bench collecting their $30 and $28 million, laughing, telling jokes, going out early at the half. There's no accountability. I would be, if I'm a player, I want to, and I'm here. I'm not just here to collect my money. I'm here to win a Super Bowl. How are you sitting there? Relax. You're supposed to be the star players. You're supposed to motivate your team. I would be sitting down my offensive line and telling them what to do because I don't expect Skyler to do it. I expect Tyreek to do it. I expect Waddle to do it. I don't expect Armstead to do it because Armstead's never there. But Tyreek Hill, you're on the field. Jalen Waddle, you're on the field. Alec Ingold, be a better blocker. Do something. That's what I'm annoyed about. I want him to get angry at his team. I know he's a player's coach, but so was Don Shula. And you want to know what? Don Shula would never stand for this crap. And that's the one thing McDaniel hasn't done. He has not overcome adversity yet. And I expect him to overcome adversity tonight. If he doesn't, I want him gone because I personally care too much about this football team for us as fans to suffer through this. Do you think about this? The Miami Dolphins, you can get it. If I was in Florida right now, Bob, Steve, you and I right now could leave. I could right now meet you at the stadium in half an hour and enter that game for $19 US a ticket.
I know, I saw that.
A week ago were $150 US a ticket. Now they're $19 US a ticket because no one, until people prove them wrong, people don't want to go to these football games. They don't want to have to go suffer through this. They rather suffer in the comfort of their own home.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah. I agree.
They've been booted. That's also, by the way, I actually am convinced, Steve, they're playing Snoop because they want the claps tonight. He's a Hallandale High graduate, grew up in Miami, the area where even where my place is in Hallandale.
Right.
All his family's going to be there. They're going to get a round of applause for playing Snoop tonight. If it was Tim Boyle or Skylar Thompson, the boos would have started before the game even started, because the first 2 home games, they got booed out of the stadium, the Dolphins, halfway through the games. Now, they know that this is a cog. Use it as motivation. Do it for Snoop. Like, do it for him. He wants to do well tonight, so Mike McDaniel put him in the best position to succeed. Your offense, don't be stupid. You're the more experienced group. You've been here, Liam Eichenberg and Austin Jackson. Yes, Brewer he's playing his former team. Robert Jones or Lester Cotton. I hope it's Patrick Paul, not Kendall Lamb tonight. I think it's time to release Patrick Paul. But I want to see players earning their stripes.
Yeah, I have to disagree with you on the Patrick
I know
Paul.
you do. That's why I said it.
Yeah, he's not ready. He's not
so?
ready. He's still a project. Kendall Lamb is going to offer you the best. He's veteran presence. He's going to offer you. He's going to offer you that leadership, and he's a solid fill-in for Terran Armstead. Paul is not ready. We want to win this game tonight, right? We want to win this game tonight. And I know Patrick Paul's, everybody's all excited, but he's a big guy, and he's a first round pick. Why isn't he playing? Well, I get it, but he's not ready. He's not ready. You don't want to put him in that position, to get completely destroyed tonight, and then now you got a mental issue on your hand, another mental issue on your hand, right? Yeah. You don't want that.
It's just sad. But I guess that just turns into for another show. But I'm sure we and I can spend a lot of time. How the Dolphins seem to draft players who are first and round. To me, first, a second, and a third round pick should be starting football games. Devon Achane,
100%
start the football game. Our first round picks are specialists or are projects. If he was a quarterback, fine, project, no problem. Redshirt the guy. But honestly, No, Lamb is not out. Lamb is playing. So I expect Lamb to play.
Lamb,
I was just
Lamb should start.
There. Do you want Patrick Paul? I sort of left you an opening to say Patrick Paul should not play.
Yeah. Put Kendall Lamb in there, not Patrick Paul. And I know if Kendall Lamb goes down, that's another story. But our best chances for that O-line to even play half as good as what they're playing now is Kendall Lamb.
Yeah, for sure. For you, straight up, if we are 1-4 heading into the bye, so we lose tonight, which I think if we lose tonight, we're losing for a while. Are you comfortable with Mike McDaniel as your head coach if we consistently lose the next 2 games, or do you want Ross at the bye to do something, whether it's Greer, whether it's McDaniel, do something, because this is atrocious. These are the 2 easiest games they're going to play all year. They are better than these teams, no matter who's at quarterback. So what are your thoughts if this goes downhill the next 2 games?
Wow, man. As I said, going back to what I said earlier, this is going to be a really telling game from Mike McDaniel tonight. If he can make those adjustments, if he can do everything that we've just talked about, and we can get a win out of this. I mean, I don't mean winning by the skin of our teeth. I mean, we need to make a dominant showing on offense, right? If we can do that, then I would say, all right, let's roll with McDaniel. Let's roll. Let's see what he can do the next 3-4 games, But if it's tonight and we lose this game and we just look completely dismal again, Ross is going to have to do something. He's going to have to. McDaniel will not survive the week with this fan base in the media.
They're becoming
Can
like
you imagine that? Can you imagine that?
I've been holding up the fire McDaniel since the Chargers game. Like, people, by the way, people realize something. I was eating crow with Jason Sanders last year, and I turned. I want Mike
Mhm.
McDaniel to be successful. I think he's a good
Of
guy.
course, we all do.
The
We
problem
all do.
is that I saw it differently than other people. When you're kissing your quarterback on the forehead, you've gone too far because you're basically saying, would he kiss Tyreek Hill on the forehead? Would he kiss Teron Armstead on the forehead? Would he kiss Jalen Ramsey on the forehead? No chance in booty hell would he ever do that. No chance. So for me,
Right.
maybe he's trying to weaken the offense to maybe not create a controversy with the fan base that maybe someone might be just as good as Tua. Because imagine, Scott, can you imagine if Snoop goes on a 3-game win streak and plays well? Like, people are going to sit Tua. Tua, don't come back yet. Rest your head. We're okay with Snoop for a little while. Don't come back yet. We're good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You think there's
Yeah.
honestly, there are conspiracy theorists who actually think that Mike McDaniel
Yeah.
could be holding
I've heard that.
back players because he's saving them because he wants Tua to be the savior. The problem is you don't want Tua to come back when it's too late, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Has Tua even seen a neurologist yet?
Probably not. No rush.
I haven't
What's
heard
the rush?
anything like that.
What's the rush? By the way, if he comes
Yeah.
back without a guardian cap on his head, side note, he's a moron. He's a total buffoon because I see defensive backs, I see linebackers, I see a lot of people. Of course, it's a ridiculous conspiracy, C Devil. I'm putting it out there to have fun about McDaniel. I'm doing it on purpose. I don't believe that for a second. I just think Mike McDaniel. I think Mike McDaniel is just outsmarting himself. He's trying to prove himself wrong. I'm convinced it's the pheromones in the head coach's office because Flores couldn't figure out had issues on the offense and was stubborn on how he used his players and got rid of Minka and all that. And now McDaniel. There's something about that head coach's office that makes them very stubborn. It's just something about that. The offensive line. How concerning is it with you without Armstead in the lineup?
It's going to be worse than what we've seen it. No doubt.
But it works up the middle. But zone running, I think, but people have to. I don't agree. They've been getting yards up the middle.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Right? A lot of teams have been wanting Miami to run the ball because that's all they thought. All they've done was pass first, right? If you watch the defensive lines, you go back and watch all 22 or even film of the Dolphins or whatever. They only have 3 linemen rushing, blitzing. They blitz Skyler. They did blitz Skyler a lot more than they did than they have Tua. Tua was only blitzed like 11 or 12% of the time, where Skyler was like 40-something% of the time, something like that for that last game. But they're only using 3-4 linemen blitzing 7 offensive linemen or 7 players on the offensive line blocking. Right? So they're basically saying, go ahead, run all day. Run all day. You can run all day, but you ain't going to pass. You're not going to get a pass downfield.
But they can. They're not being. The problem is our quarterbacks. Our quarterbacks are not seeing when they're open.
But they're not open. Well, a lot of times. One of them
has to be open. They can't.
Yes,
double cover
you're right.
all 3
You're
receivers.
right. No. You're right. There is some that are open, but they're more like a dummy route. They're like doing a dummy route, right?
No, but
that's all they're doing.
But if they had a quarterback who can get outside the pocket, then you. I remember somebody said this. I think it was yesterday. I think he said it yesterday. He's a smart guy from Houston. He said, well, if a quarterback actually goes outside the pocket, that forces the defense to actually move. You know who said that?
Yeah, that was me. It basically does. It gets. That's what. Yes, it makes the defense, because they're playing that cover 2. Now, if you have the quarterback rolling out of the pocket and you definitely know that he can run, that's going to force those guys to say, "Uh-oh, I got to play up now." Right? They're going to get away from that wide receiver, and that wide receiver might find a little seam or something and get open. Right?
Absolutely.
So it's going to.
Because people were talking about that game where that touchdown from Ty Johnson was all on, and how beautiful a throw it was from Josh Allen. They put that on Ramsey. I don't put that on Ramsey at all. How do you expect a cornerback to cover a guy for 15 seconds? That's on the
Right.
D line. The D line not allowing him to get that far out, and the linebackers not, and our pass rush not being able to set the goddamn edge to be able to get to him. The fact that they let him go straight to the sideline and have all that time, you can't expect a corner to be able to sustain that kind of a route for 15 seconds. They're running the wide receiver has a major advantage in that play. Major
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's exactly what happened. Ramsey was confused. He's like, wait, is he going to run? Is he going to throw? Is he going to run? And just that split second, Ty Johnson got open.
Yeah,
exactly.
From what do you tonight?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to? Because I think last week we all wanted us to take the points. Unfortunately, McDaniel did it incorrectly. I think he actually was listening to the fan base. Oh, take your 3 points when you have your 3 points. But then all of us lost it when we were on the 39. And Jason Sanders, who I think is doing a good job, I don't want him taking 57-yard field goals in the wind in Seattle. But do you want us to be aggressive tonight? Like with Ty? Because I believe, unlike Tua and unlike Skyler, if it's 4th and 1, I let Huntley run. Like let Huntley quarterback sneak. He's tall enough, he's big enough to be able to jump the pile. If all these other players can do it, why can't allow Tyler Huntley to do it? I think they need to be aggressive with Tyler Huntley tonight.
Yeah, I agree. I do. I believe we should. What do we got to lose, right? I mean,
Exactly.
we've got to do something. We've got to mix it up tonight. We've got to change our way of doing business on that field, offensively speaking.
Yeah.
And we've got to use an element of surprise tonight on offense. We have to go out of our comfort zone. Or McDaniel has to go out of his comfort zone, and he's just going to have to say, "Look, man, if you got the opportunity, Huntley, run. If there's nobody open, create something, do something."
Exactly. Honestly, I want Mike McDaniel to prove me wrong. I want to apologize to him tonight. I just want him to trust Tyler Huntley. Like, this is the guy I wanted last year as our backup. Develop him in our system, not Mike White. Go get Tyler Huntley. Even at the end of this season, he's a guy who gives you a different element that a lot of teams don't have. Yeah, but yeah, people are gonna say, well, there's a reason why he was a third stringer. You want to know what? Quarterbacks come in all shapes and sizes at all different times. Trust me, you don't think that the Cleveland Browns wish they can go back and keep Baker Mayfield at this point? Like or the fact that Carolina or the Jets or want Sam Darnold or the 49 wanted Sam Darnold back. Like, there's all different opportunities for quarterbacks to be successful. And this is a guy who wants to be in Miami. He's athletic. He's capable. So Mike McDaniel has to utilize him in the best way. And I think that I don't mind at the beginning, if you go deep, to give the little screen passes, jet sweeps, get him comfortable, run the ball, let him run outside the pocket, let him try to make a controlled play. Because I can promise you this right now, he's the kind of quarterback where the way he runs, he's not going to put his head down because he can knock over guys. The guy's a big guy.
Exactly.
So I'm not worried about that. What's
Exactly.
up, DW, Franklin, Sea Devil, Coach Jay, Cap? I appreciate everyone for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to check out the GoFundMe page for Bobby's stepdad. He was a wonderful guy, real amazing part of the network, beautiful human being.
I think missing Bobby tonight. Evan, I think Cap was having
I put the full link out there. But if you want, guys, just go check. If you guys are on Twitter, just go to Bobby Fintz Talks Twitter handle, and you'll see the link right there. I'm not sure why it's not working here, because when I copy paste that link into my thing, it works. So if you take the full link where it says GoFundMe all the way to copy link, it should work.
Evan, let me piggyback on what you said about the the jet sweeps and throwing the screen passes and all that kind of stuff. What I want to see too is, I don't want to see, and you've made a point of this as well, and even Kurt Warner has said this as well. He said it the other day. I was reading one of his texts. The offense instead of throwing these behind the line passes, right, 5 yards out in front like a West Coast offense, that's what we need to do. And the ideal candidates for that is Achane, Jalen Wright, get some of our slot receivers,
Even
put
Izukama.
maybe
Even Izukama.
even Izukama, right? Throw it 4 or 5 yards in front of the line of scrimmage,
Yeah,
not
if I
4 or
see it
5 yards behind.
behind the line of scrimmage is killing me.
Yeah, me too.
I think that's a protector where somebody else, a smart guy said this. They are hiking the ball, they're snapping the ball, they're looking at the first read, they don't see it. Let's just throw a little dink to the side. Like they give up.
Exactly.
Oh, Jeffy, our first guy. Smart guy, the guy on Real Talk Rants, eh? I listened to him. No, but it's pretty obvious. So in the end, I just want to see a very, because I do believe that tonight the defense is going to play strong. Let's talk about the defense. I think Anthony Weaver, yes, they're getting off the slow starts, but luckily Bradley Chubb is not playing tonight, so he can't throw his helmet tonight. So we won't get that messed up tonight. But Zach Sealer's playing very, very well.
Very good. He's our best. He's our best defensive player right now.
Amazing. I believe that Calais Campbell's doing what he can. Jalen Ramsey's doing what he can. I think Javon Holland has to have a much better game than he had in Seattle. Yeah. I think this will be a good opportunity for Storm Duck tonight to play. I think Zeron Neal's going to have an important role tonight. So in the end, I think the defense has to play in unison. I think they have to keep the low scoring, so they can't wait to the second half to adjust. If they're seeing that they have to protect the deep throws to Ridley, to Hopkins, because that's one thing I'm a little worried about is the fact that because probably Hopkins is going to be shadowed by Ramsey, you still have Ridley out there, and you still have Tyler Boyd. So you're going to have So I'm concerned about Duke Riley in coverage. Hopefully Anthony Walker is there, because I really need Anthony Walker because he's actually our best linebacker in coverage. Jordan Brooks has been good too, but I actually think Anthony Walker's a little more talented. But the defense is a
lot better.
Yeah, I really need the defense to really protect Snoop early on. So I'm actually, but honestly, I want them to get that stop. I want us to win the toss. I want us to defer. I want Tyler Huntley to be calm before he gets out there. I want the defense to get a good 3 and out on Will Levis, get him rattled, get a turnover, make it easy for Tyler Huntley at the beginning, so then he feels the confidence to be successful. Because there's a lot of pressure on him tonight. He knows what's at stake here tonight. He could potentially win the number 2 job. Because, by the way, if he plays well the next 2 or 3, Boyd's going to be cut, and Tyler's going to be the third quarterback as emergency for the rest of the season. And for me, because in the end, I know the Dolphins, they're going to be stubborn and they're not going to give up on this kid, even though he's not a capable quarterback long term. They're still going to hold on to him for another year, for the rest of the season, to say that they tried. You agree?
Yeah, I agree. I think they probably will. And again, tonight's going to be the telling of what, how this kid performs and Mike McDaniel. So it's going to be a big game. It's
Alec Ingold has this sense of the fact that he is now an announcer in pregame. Who cares? Like during the preseason, but no, he's been awful in blocking, and that's why our zone blocking has sucked. Our zone blocking has been awful because you have 5'9" Smurfs blocking. What do you expect our running backs to do when you have a small running back in Achan running behind Berrios and Ingold? They're not getting any support on outside the numbers. It's crazy. That's a success. But that's crazy because that's what the success of LaFleur. That's the success of Taylor. That's the success of McVay. That's the success of Shanahan. But for some reason, Mike McDaniel hasn't found a way to adjust. So the boy genius needs to find a way to adjust. Very simple.
And the bottom line is, and I hope he does. And we've been talking about this already, I know, but he's got to keep it simple tonight. And honestly, I don't want to see any of this, anything that's been happening with the last, like if Tua was playing at the quarterback spot, getting the ball out fast. And, with 1.8 seconds, everybody's hyping on that. Oh, wow, look, 1.8 seconds. Wow, that's amazing. No, it's not amazing. It's not amazing because you don't want your quarterback to get the ball out in 1.8 seconds or 2 seconds. You want to have them get it out in 2.5. You want that O-line to at least hold their block for 2.5 or more seconds.
Yeah.
And so that's not what we want here tonight. I hope that he goes to a pro style offense tonight, but I doubt it.
I doubt it. I
I
doubt it too.
really do.
I doubt it too. Overall, we're 40 minutes into the show. I want you to have a chance to relax before the game. But you mentioned before, what are your keys to tonight's football game? And then we'll talk about a few
Yeah,
other things.
defense. The defense is the key. You mentioned it earlier. They got to get 3 and outs in the first half, man. They can't let Titans go down there and score 14 points, and then our offense has to try and come back, right? Or it ain't going to happen. I'm telling you, it's not going to happen. If that happens, if Titans get ahead, we're not coming back. So it's going to be the key point is this defense is to play like they played in the second half. They're going to have to reverse it now. They're going to and they got to play good in the second half too. But what I'm saying is, my point is, they've got to come out and they've got to put pressure on Levis. They've got to confuse him, create some turnovers, 3 and outs, whatever it might be. They've got to play. They got to play really, really good tonight. That's a key. And the other key is we got to run the ball, whether that be Tyler Huntley, rolling out and on some rollouts, or design plays for him. We got to do it. And running it, as you said earlier too, running that inside zone. We got to run the ball inside more, even if it's just to keep the defense honest. We got to keep it simple tonight. That's the key, and no freaking penalties.
So for the penalty aspect, how do we convince Mike McDaniel to sit Julian Hill? Because it seems to always be that when we get a nice play, it's Julian
It ain't gonna
Hill.
happen.
Julian Hill is grabbing onto a jersey that had nothing to do with the play. That's what's driving me crazy. He takes penalties on plays that have nothing to do with him. The guy is already gone. H-head's already gone. The pass is already thrown. He's grabbing onto a jersey.
Yeah. Well,
how do we
the thing is,
Julian Hill?
You really can't.
I know.
You really can't. That's another thing. I'm really disappointed in Jono Smith. We heard all this hype about Jono Smith.
All this hype.
This hype. Oh, we got some special packages for him, man. Yeah. He's gonna be dynamite. Nothing.
Him. Durham Smythe has not caught a pass. This guy, he is looking for Mike Gesicki. He's missing his BFF. Go to Cincinnati. I don't care. Durham Smythe, goodbye. I have no more patience for him.
Yeah,
my keys to the game. My keys to the game. My keys to the game on offense. I need to see between Huntley, Achane, Wright, and Wilson 130 yards of rushing. I need to see at least 40 to 50. I need to see at least for about 35, 40 yards from Huntley. And I need to see at least 90 yards from the group. I don't care. Just sustain run, stick with it. That if the outside the numbers is not working, just keep battering it up the middle. I need to see the 2 most important players on defense, shockingly enough, are you're going to be shocked when is Jalen Phillips has to be chasing him. That has to be chasing on one side, has to be chasing Will Levis down the field. But you know who has to show up tonight? This is his homecoming tonight. He has to be one of the best defensive. Chop Robinson. You can't set the edge, but you want to know what? You have speed. Put you on the outside. Go chase Levis. Like, go get him. Like, pretend you're a rabid dog. Go get him. Go get him. He has your steak. Go get him. That's one thing. And then, really, Mike McDaniel, really simple. If I see the play clock going to 1 every single play, you need to get the plays in quick, fast, and let Huntley make the call. Stop overthinking this. And I don't want to hear this. If I see that Tua has something in his ear tonight on the sideline talking to Snoop, I'm going to be annoyed.
I agree.
The quarterback alone. I don't
100%.
want to see Tua. I don't want a close-up of Tua. Tua should not be there. They should treat him like Chris Greer. Don't show him on screen. I don't need to see him. You should be in a dark room, relaxing, taking a nap, playing with your kids, go back to Disney World. I don't need you there. You're a distraction. You're not a help, Tua. I love you, but you're not a help. Go away. Filling in a corner tonight, guys, probably is going to be a mixture of either Saron Neal and Storm Duck, I'm guessing. Man, I may be Nick Needham. He might be an elevator. I may have missed that. I'm not sure.
I don't know who they elevated. It could be Needham, and I'd like to see Needham. I mean,
Yeah.
we know what he has to offer. You know,
But no,
so
those are my keys. Is that they just need to have the running attack is what your friend last night. The reason why they were successful last night in Baltimore, they used the quarterback's legs, they used the running back's legs, and that opened up the passing game. If you don't know what Tyler Huntley is going to do on the play, they're going to let go. They're going to release the wide receivers. They're going to release. So give him that chance. He has the arm to do it.
Yep, I agree.
I wasn't sure Duck was there. He's healthy. He's there. He gets burned a lot, but the Needham will be in the slot. He'll be nickel. Storm Duck's the better outside than him. Oh yeah, you know who's also there? Kohu's there. Kohu's also going to be there, obviously. But I want Kohu in the nickel. I'd rather have Duck on the numbers. But your starters are probably going to be Duck, Kohu, and Ramsey. That's my guess with Poyer and Holland. But so what is your prediction for tonight's game? I don't know if you gave it last night, but what is your prediction for tonight's game?
I did. I gave it on my pregame show, and I know folks aren't going to like this, but I want McDaniel to change my mind. I want this team to win, but I just don't think they're going to do it tonight. I got the Titans 20-17 over Miami. Hey, but they'll score 2 more touchdowns.
This was the hardest thing I've ever done because I'm convinced this, but I'll put it to you this way. I've given it every chance in the world. I was done last week. This is Mike McDaniel's last chance to prove me wrong, or else I will never come back. People are wondering whatever I did to Jason Sanders, Mike McDaniel will never get relief from me. People are on the Tua trade or anti-Tua. There will be nobody. I'll be calling for Mike McDaniel's job for the rest of his career in Miami. I don't care, even when we win. But we're going to win tonight. Somehow, some way, Tyler Huntley is going to pull this off. He is going to pull this off, and I actually think we're going to play well. And I actually think the defense is going to show up in prime time. There's less pressure because there's actually 2 games. So the final score is going to be Dolphins 27, Titans 13. We're actually going to win by 2 scores. Prove me wrong, Mike McDaniel. Prove me wrong so everyone can laugh at me and make fun of Finstanza. And my daughter doesn't get the fact that the door is closed. She doesn't knock. She assumes that if she pushes the door open, all that matters.
Wait, where's the blind remote?
Guys, I can't answer this question at this moment. I'm sorry, guys. So let me ask you something, Steve.
Sure.
Guys, drop your. Say thank you, Frank. Thank you for putting your score and the thing with 24-20 Dolphins. So he also has at least his Dolphins scoring more than more than 11 points tonight. That would be nice. What right now in the AFC? What team concerns you the most? Like tomorrow, because I actually think that I want to get your opinion because Kansas City doesn't look scary. They're 4-0. The Baltimore Ravens are now 2-2. Buffalo got exposed last night. The Jets don't look great. The Texans are playing well, but they almost lost to the Jaguars yesterday, and they lost the week before. Is there a team that really scares you in the AFC right now?
Yeah, you gotta say Kansas City, man. I mean, even they started off on
they lost Rashee Rice. Yes, you know Rashee Rice is probably
doesn't matter. They got the X factor. Doesn't matter. They got the X factor.
Okay.
So yeah, you got to go through Mahomes. I don't care. Look, he started off last year in bad note too, and look, they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they win these games and they suck. The Dolphins suck. We get crushed. The Kansas City Chiefs don't play well. They win. It's very weird. Why? They adjust.
They adjust, yeah.
They adjust.
And I think they have that. They just have that mental toughness too.
Yeah. Exactly. At least we're not the worst team in Florida. At least we're not the worst team in Florida, right?
Exactly. Yeah, look, I am not panicking. I am not panicking yet. Tonight, after tonight, if we don't win, you're gonna hear me ranting from here to China.
And you will. By the way, if we lose tonight, my show is not called. It's no longer called the Finns Bandwagon. It's going to be called the Finns kicked off McDaniel off the bandwagon. And it's going to be literally dragging him because honestly, he's holding us back. He's holding us back, and it's really scary to see because you think, oh my, it's like, you know what it is? It's like going outside. Let's say one day you're going outside and you basically, to go to work today, you put it in Waze and it says it's going to take you 45 minutes and here's your Honda Civic. The next day you get up and you wake up and you have 2 Ferraris. Pick your color. And you're going to get to the office in 10 minutes. Mike McDaniel has 2 Ferraris, decides to take the Civic. That's his problem. He has 2 Ferraris and doesn't use them. And I think he's actually traumatized a little bit. I think he can't get over the fact that people have figured him out, and he's trying to basically prove everybody else wrong. But there's nothing wrong with admitting that you're wrong, because you want to know what? Andy Reid went to 4 NFC championships and with Donovan McNabb and went to 1 Super Bowl and couldn't win. Went to Kansas City, used Alex Smith, developed Patrick Mahomes, completely changed the way he coached. 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah, well, here's the thing with McDaniel. McDaniel's trying to he's a trendsetter. He's a young guy, and you can tell just the way he handles himself, the way he dresses, all that stuff. He's a trendsetter, and he's trying to reinvent the wheel that has already been invented 100 and something years, and he can't get himself to just play within that wheel.
No.
Right? Just play football 101.
Yep. Absolutely. And honestly, it's just I'm saying this for anybody. Oh, Calais Campbell's leading the pregame speech. You want to know what? Let a veteran lead. You want to know what? Good for him. Let him. If they need a kick in the ass, Calais Campbell's going to give it. Because you know what? Calais Campbell didn't sign a $2 million contract to come lose. Right.
The problem is Calais Campbell plays on the defense. We need somebody to step up on the offense and give them.
Where's Christian Wilkins at fullback when we needed him? Wait, he was
exactly.
By the way, you know what's amazing? The Raiders yesterday, without Devontae Adams and without Max Crosby, won a football game. You want to know what? You lose players, you should be able to say next man up. But luckily, we have a healthy wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2. And we have healthy running backs right now. Use them. Utilize your players. Because you want to know what? Our players should not be tired. The fact that I'm seeing these players take days off, load management. Oh, Tyreek Hill Friday. I'm tired. What?
Don't get me started on load management. Don't get me started on that.
I know. That's my point.
I've been harping on that
rest day.
all season.
Rest days. They all need rest days. You know what drives me crazy?
They need rest days.
Yeah, like soon what's going to happen one day when the game doesn't count? They're going to rest. The one thing in the NBA, what people used to hate, you spend your hard-earned money to go to a game, and then to that night, you take your kid to the game. They want to see their favorite player, LeBron James. Oh, he took the night off. Like, this is bull crap. You guys have 7 months to take the time off. I don't want to hear the fact that you're tired.
Exactly.
And by the way,
you can go to Disney on Ice after the season.
Exactly. So, any final words before I let you? Because I'm sure we're gonna have a lot more to talk about. We've had a lot of shows this week, and I'm sure you want to go get comfortable, relax, grab a bite before the game starts at 7:30. It's an awkward time, like 7. Because I don't like these 2 Monday night games. It's very awkward, very confusing.
I don't either.
But if you had to make a prediction, actually, because the one game we haven't predicted yet, because Bobby and I usually do the prediction show. Lions Seahawks. Who do you in Detroit today? Who do you think picks up the W?
I'll take in the Lions.
Yeah, they're not playing well, and they're actually, this is an important game for them. If they lose, that whole I am leading, because the area is opening there, like what do you call it? The Redskins, the Commanders are now 3-1. How good is Jaden Daniels? He has an 82% completion percentage in 4 games. He put 42 points up against the Cardinals. Unbelievable.
Guy's awesome.
Why? You know what I realized? From now on, I never want to pick first in the draft. I always want to pick second. Let the other guy get the quarterback that everyone thinks is the best. I'll get the second best quarterback, and he'll turn out to be the best quarterback. Like, if you look back on it, you already see that Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Jaden
Yeah.
Daniels is the more capable quarterback. CJ Stroud,
Mhm.
Bryce Young, CJ Stroud. Like the only time
Yeah.
that didn't work was Peyton Manning and Ryan Leaf. That didn't exactly work, but Ryan
Yeah.
Leaf's is a good game analyst now. Um,
Mhm.
anyways, so guys, any final words, Steve, before I give everyone the lowdown of what's happening after the game?
No, man. I've said everything I can think of. Just
Right.
win tonight for me, Dolphins. Just win. Please win. Change my mind. Show me the freaking money, McDaniel. Show me the money.
You know, for me, I love this team so much that I'm willing to forgive McDaniel for all his fables if he wins the game tonight. But I want to see it to be a consistent effort. There's a team that's 0-3 that, yes, they have a good offense, but if Will Levis, who literally looks like a shell of himself, if you let him wreak havoc on this team tonight and you can't fight back and adjust, and you can't fight back and put points on the board to support your defense, there's only so much your defense can do before they're gassed. So, Miss Finns, if you're welcome to come on our post-game show later, because Bobby can't be here. I don't know if you saw before, if you saw on Twitter, Miss Finns, about Bobby's stepdad. Ralphie Boy is no longer with us. He suddenly passed away yesterday morning. I put up a GoFundMe link up there. He also posted it on X. So you're welcome to come on our show afterwards if you like. We'll be here for the post-game show. No, for me, this is just a feeling. I want the Dolphins to make their team proud tonight. The people at the game deserve better. They've yet to see a nice
Absolutely.
home win. We've yet to lead a football game. We need to go out there and lead a football game. Take the bull by the horns and be the team. It's going to take, at the pace we're going at, it's going to take us 7 games to score the amount of points we scored in 1 game last season, Mike McDaniel. That doesn't make a lot of sense. Where is the greatest show on surf? I want to see Mike McDaniel prove me wrong. Make Dolphins realize why you're the so-called boy genius. Because if you don't tonight, everyone's going to realize it was all Kyle Shanahan and all you were was an Excel spreadsheet bookkeeper, and that you got the job because of the fact that your co-coaches propped you up. Your head coach propped you up. So Tyler Huntley, Snoop, do it for Hallandale High. Do it for my second home in Hallandale Beach. Make us proud. I believe in you. The Dolphins, you're going to win tonight. Even if it's in spite of Mike McDaniel, even if he's not involved, do it for the Dolphin fans who are coming out to support you, because you want to know what? The Dolphin fans, we've been through more hell than any franchise the last 24 years. We have not won a playoff game since a Colts nail biter in 2000. It's about time that we earn our stripes. Don't you agree?
Definitely, man. 100%, brother. 100%.
So, guys, you'll catch us in the post-game show right after the game. Just give us a few minutes for us to get settled. But once the game is over, probably within 15, 20 minutes, we'll be online. We'll even drop the link if you want to vent, because if it's a happy time, we'll continue. But I'm sure if we potentially lose this game, all hell is going to break loose. So come here, because trust me, you want to see real talk rants, you want to see Finstanza be real George Costanza, check us out here if we potentially lose a game. The Finns Talk Network might blow up. That's how insane we're going to be. They're going to hear us everywhere, because we are not going to be pleased. Prove us wrong. Guys,
Absolutely.
don't forget to like and subscribe. Yeah, run. If you want to join, come up if you have a chance. Hopefully, it's going to end early tonight. It's going to be, the game should be over by 10 o'clock, so it's not as late as the other Monday night or Thursday night games. So, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hopefully, the Miami Dolphins win tonight. I know they're going to win tonight. Fins up, everybody.